News now from Punjab, and it's day 2 of the Special Assembly session in Punjab to counter the centre's farm laws. On day 1, the Congress government faced protest by the AAP MLAs who even spent the night in the Assembly. They're demanding that the government share the draft copy of the proposed legislation to be introduced by the state against the farm laws, while Congress leader Navjot Singh Sidhu criticized his party's government in the state for a second time for its crop procurement model and lack of storage and marketing ability.
मैं पंजाब नूं इस शुरुआती कदम वास्ते बधाई दिना, पर यह महज शुरुआती कदम है। अज कणक जीरी नूं छड्ड के पंजाब कोल किसे होर फसल नूं चुकण दा प्रोक्योरमेंट मॉडल ही है, ना पंजाब सरकार को स्टोरेज है। अज FCI वालों MSP ते सरकारी खरीद मिल रही है, कल है, परसों दा की भरोसा। ते जे ये काले कानून लागू हो गए तो अपने कोल घट तो घट 1 साल है ते वध तो वध 2 या 3 साल। ये 3 कानून किसान नूं पूंजीपतियां दा गुलाम बनाउणगे, इस तरह चलाउणगे जिवें भारत दे विच गोरियां ने ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी चलाई सी ना। अंबानी अडानी बंबई च बैठ के कठपुतलियां वांग नचाउणगे।
All right, well, let's now go to Ghazali for more details on this. And Ghazali, today Captain Amarinder Singh is expected to introduce the bill in the Assembly, but lots of protest by AAP MLAs, also criticism from Navjot Singh Sidhu.
Yeah, lots happening in Punjab because the Chief Minister had called this 2-day special assembly session, and hopes were high yesterday when all the parties and even the farmers were hoping that a new law will come in, will be placed in the state assembly to counter or negate the union farm laws. But what happened yesterday was that the AAP MLAs, the Akali Dal MLAs, they were all expecting that the government will give them the copies of the bill to be tabled in advance so that they can read through it and then a discussion can be done in the assembly. But the assembly proceedings started at 11 AM, and after a couple of hours and adjournments there, no discussion was held. It was said that by today, like second day of the assembly session, the bill will be tabled, the Chief Minister will bring it, and then the discussion will happen. And that is why the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, they protested inside the assembly session, inside the assembly hall. After the session got over, they stayed there, they spent overnight in the assembly yesterday. And similarly, the Akali Dal also protested, saying that it was a fixed match between the Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh and BJP government at the centre. Bikram Majithia, the Akali Dal MLA, said that the government is deliberately not sharing the contents of the bill, and the state government of Punjab is taking prior approval from the union government. So this is something for the first time somebody from the opposition, and that too Akali Dal, which has stayed in alliance with BJP for decades, is accusing Chief Minister Amarinder Singh of being hand in glove with the union government. On the other hand, Navjot Singh Sidhu also appeared. He also attended the assembly session, but he didn't exchange any greetings with the Chief Minister. And on the day the state government was planning to table this bill, he addressed through his social media platform, and he is again targeted the state government, saying that if centre pulls out of procuring the food grains from Punjab, state should chip in. So this is again yet another attack, because Sidhu had done sort of suggested similar thing on 4th of October when Rahul Gandhi was here in Punjab to address and to launch that Kisan Yatra. But today, all eyes on Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh, that what sort of bill he is coming up with. There will be 3 bills to counter the 3 farm laws, or what will be the contents of the new bill which will be tabled today.
Right, and Ghazali, also about these new bills, these are essentially to counter the farm laws that were brought in by the centre. If you could tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, Gargi, 3 bills, 3 new laws were introduced by the union government. So to negate those 3 laws, the state wanted to bring in 3 bills in the state assembly. But it is more of a cosmetic approach, or sort of just to assuage the farmers, because legally what we know is that if a bill is tabled in the assembly session, it has to get the approval of the governor here. And if you are bringing any new law, in the State Assembly which has to counter or bypass the central laws, then it needs an approval from the President of India. And in both the situations, the governor has been appointed by the union government, and the President himself, when has given the assent to the new farm laws by the centre, it helps no brainer that he will give any assent to the bills which will be passed by the State Assembly. Why the state government is bringing these bills is because they are also facing the heat of the farm protest, where farmers have blocked the railway and road routes across the state.